Hi guys, Tech here, and I wanted to show off kind of where Flickr is right now, as well as kind of go over what are the next steps to get from where we are into more high-end investment and to getting more survivability, damage, things of that nature. So kind of, this will give you a mid-tier Flickr budget. This is probably about 5 divines worth of investment, right around there, 5-6 divines, something like that. Now, part of that is because I bought things early, and part of that is because I crafted things myself. The next step is going to be kind of expensive bases, because we want very specific roles. Like we want a Crusader crystal belt that's I-86 or higher. We want cluster jewels that are 86, so we can get the 35% roll. So there's or 84 or higher. So there's some stuff that's going to get very expensive. It doesn't mean that you have to get to that point. Like this is a T16, and it's clearing it just fine without that high investment. But when you have the money and you do want to invest a little bit more, I will go along and kind of show you basically how to get there. And if you didn't watch the first video in this series, basically what we did is we used Poisonous Concoction and Heist Farming to get our initial gear going. And then from there we transitioned over to CI Flickr. I also have an accuracy stacker that was kind of covered in that same build guide, and I'll kind of show you the update to what it's doing as well, so you can kind of see both side by side how they're working now that accuracy stacker is functioning correctly, because it wasn't originally. And you can kind of decide which route you want to go. That really fast whirl is Vol Flicker. I personally love it. Some people don't, but it reminds me of like old Flickerstrike, so I really enjoy the Vol flickering. I think it's fantastic. But let's get into the path of building for this one, and then we'll do accuracy stacking and the path of building for that one. Alright, so the default tree that will be in the paste bin is going to be exactly where I am at. So it will have exactly my gear, so you can see exactly what I have going line by line and kind of follow along if you want to have it perform the exact same way it is right here. I also have in-game clusters and an in-game tree, which is the gear that I'm going to shoot for that I've kind of crafted on here. Now that doesn't mean you have to get to this point, it just is a lot more energy shield and a lot more damage when we do. So just kind of something to be aware of. It's much more survivable when we do go into the in-game side of things versus the default side of things. This will be kind of what I don't have like notes or anything on this one. The notes are going to be on the previous version. But this will give you an updated template and kind of what to craft next. If you are already to this point or a little past this point, but you're not sure what bases and things like that you want to start working with, this will kind of get you over that hump. So this is the accuracy stacker going through a very similarly rolled tier 16 map, just so you can kind of see a side-by-side difference. It isn't going to be as crazy as the Flickerstrike build. However, it does let you play more different skills. Basically, the only new skill that you can use on claws that you can't really use on this is Flickerstrike probably. It just doesn't have enough frenzy charge generation to really sustain it. Now, you can make it work, like you could kind of force it to work if you used Feral's Fur. You could probably make Flicker work with this shell. However, I probably would recommend doing an actually Flicker build instead of trying to run Flicker this way, even though the attack speed would be absolutely insane. and very fun just off that alone. Now, the one big advantage to Vol Lightning Strike is it is amazing boss damage, which you don't get from some of the other things. So some of the other things you can run here are like Frost Blades or Venom Gyre will probably be kind of popular. Both of those are fine. Frost Blades has better clear than Lightning Strike does, but it doesn't have the overall bossing ability, which is really, really strong, and I really like the bossing ability of it. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go the same route I do. You can absolutely do your own thing. I do have kind of trees and gem links in the original video for this that you can follow along to, in case you are interested in playing something that is not Lightning Strike. That way you kind of know what you're looking for as far as minor tree modifications. You're talking like 4 or 5 skill points at most, so it's pretty minor. But this will give you kind of an idea of what to expect with accuracy stacking, and then I'll go into the POB where we'll delve into where we're at now and kind of the upgrades we can look for. Alright, so similarly to Flickerstrike, this is kind of the default tree. Then there's going to be an endgame tree, as well as the items, default and in-game. There's not going to be a huge variation between the two. It's more chase items that you're looking for on the in-game version of accuracy stacking. Now, this is set up for Frost Blades, even though in the video I demoed Lightning Strike. To change it, all you do is get piercing shots, or you can also get the helm enchant for Vol Lightning Strike instead of chain here. So it's just you're removing these 2 points and adding these 2 points for it to be the video version. Frost Blades doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have quite the same boss damage, but it does have very, very, very good clear speed. So it's kind of your own personal preference which way you want to go. But I'll upload it with the Frost Blades variant. If you want to go Lightning Strike variant, just change these 2 spots right here, and then you can always pull the character as well, because I will likely swap back to Lightning Strike at some point. But it's just a couple of gem swaps, really. You don't need chain, for instance, for for Lightning Strike, but you do for Frost Blades. I hope this is helpful, and I hope if you're following one of these 2 guides, this kind of gives you a direction of where to go, as I will not be readily available. I will still try to keep up with comments and things like that as best I can. It will be easiest to reach me through YouTube, as far as like just leaving a comment for the next 4 or 5 days or so. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and have a wonderful holiday season, and Merry Christmas to you all. Bye bye for now.